Did you know that today's moon is moving away from us at a rate of 3.8 centimeters per year? Perhaps this short 3.8 centimeters is not worth mentioning for the distance between the Earth and the moon, but as long as the entire timeline is stretched, this distance will become astronomical. So, what is it that causes the moon to move away from us every year? Today we will take you on a short science journey to find out. In 1687, Newton proposed the law of universal gravitation, that is, any two particles have a mutual attraction in the direction of the center line, and the same is true between the Earth and the Moon. In the process of constant competition, the Earth will be madly pulled by the gravitational force of the Moon. But since the Earth is in a regular sphere rather than a particle, the distance from each point to the Moon is different, so the gravitational force of the Moon is not uniform. The unevenness mentioned here refers to the so-called tidal force. Under the action of the lunar tidal force, the Earth is pulled into an ellipsoid, and tidal bulges appear on both sides toward and away from the Moon. The ebb and flow of the ocean's surface due to the gravitational pull of the Moon, and the ebb and flow of tides that we see on the seashore every day. However, due to the hysteresis of the tidal force, it will have a certain braking effect on the rotation of the Earth over time. Therefore, the rotation of the Earth itself is actually slowing down every day, which leads to the extension of the daily time by about 23 microseconds. This will continue until the Moon completely locks the Earth's tides before it stops. In fact, in the wild billions of years ago, the Earth's rotation speed was much faster than it is now, and at that time there were only about 6 hours a day. But now, as the Moon continues to move away, the time of a day has been extended to 24 hours. Speaking of this, many people may have questions such as, is there some kind of relationship between the reduction of the Earth's rotation speed and the gradual distance of the Moon from us? That's right, since the angular momentum of the Earth-Moon system is conserved. When the Earth's rotation slows down and the time prolongs, the reduced rotation angular momentum will be transferred to the Moon, which will cause the Moon's orbital angular momentum to gradually increase, so the Moon will also be farther away. According to the analysis of scientists, the speed of the Moon's receding from us has changed many times in history. Once the speed of relocation increases, it means that a major event has occurred, such as the fluctuation of the Ice Age on Earth or the impact of meteors on the Moon. Over time, the distance between the Earth and the Moon has gradually reached 385,000 kilometers from the initial more than 20,000 kilometers. Yes, many years from now, people will look up at the Moon and see a much smaller Moon than what we see now. What's even more amazing is that in about 600 million years, when the Moon reaches a farther position, one of the oldest astronomical phenomena on Earth, a total solar eclipse, will also disappear completely, because the Moon at that time can no longer block the Sun's light, unable to cast its own shadow onto the Earth. Scientists speculate that after about 7 billion years, the Moon will be able to completely lock the Earth's tides and never move away. By that time, the average distance between the Earth and the Moon will be about 550,000 kilometers, and the Earth and the Moon will be tidally locked to each other like Pluto and its moon Charon, and the distance between the two will no longer increase. However, the probability of this happening is extremely low, because after about 6 billion years, the Sun will cause the core fuel to run out and evolve into a huge red giant star. At that time, the surface of the Sun is likely to exceed the orbit of the Earth, and eventually the Earth and the Moon will be swallowed up, and everything of human civilization will be completely erased, as if it had never appeared in the universe.